New at 6, the Postal Service suspended mail delivery to a Grand Rapids home because of a letter-fetching dog.
24-hour News 8's Henry Erbs at the live desk with this story. Henry?
Well, we know that dog bites are a big fear for letter carriers. One of them had to have a face full of stitches a couple of weeks ago in Kalamazoo after a dog attack. But in this case, there was no bite, and the dog and the mail carrier were on opposite sides of a wall. We watched the mailman walk right past Ed Sattler's Turner Street house on Grand Rapids' northwest side. Mail delivery to Sattler's home has been suspended since mid-April. According to Postal Service Representative Sabrina Todd, a substitute mail carrier complained.
The dog was on the other side of the mail slot when the carrier was delivering the mail, and the carrier felt threatened at that particular time when the dog reached for the mail.
Sattler's dog Zelda, inside the house, apparently grabbed the mail as the carrier pushed it through the slot from outside the house.
The dog's doing what it's trained to do and has to be trained to do.
Sattler says he trained Zelda to get the mail and retrieve other items because disease has confined him to his bed and a motorized chair. The post office says it sent Sattler a letter on April 12th that it suspended his delivery, but Sattler says he never saw it. A May postal bulletin says when there is animal interference, the post office is supposed to phone the customer. The post office says it didn't have Sattler's number, although we found it in the online white pages. Even though his mail was supposed to be suspended, Sattler says he was getting some of it. He called the post office recently when he noticed important mail was not arriving.
I've lost my insurance. I'm missing my state aid. My bills are falling farther and farther behind.
So what is the risk? We checked and it looked like it would be pretty hard to accidentally stick your hand through the slot while just pushing something through it. I was able to flatten out my hand and stick it through the slot far enough for Zelda the dog to lick my fingertips on the other side of the wall. But it also appears you'd have to deliberately try to reach through the slot. I suppose some people would say since the dog was in the house and the carrier was on the outside of the house that this might be a bit of an overreaction.
You may want to say that, but like I said, this is a very, very serious concern for the Postal Service. Letter carriers are the third group of people behind women and children and the elderly who are getting bitten.
A day after we started asking questions, two guys from the post office were at Ed Sattler's house asking him to sign this letter. They wanted him to promise to keep his dogs away from the mail slot from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to prevent them from snatching the mail out of the carrier's hand. Sattler refused. Then they asked him to sign a different letter, simply promising to obey postal regulations. He again refused because he says neither he nor his dogs have done anything wrong.
But I have been following postal regulations.
He was told that his delivery would resume only if he signed one of those letters. But our last exchange with the Postal Service adds confusion because it says the local manager has concluded it is safe to deliver again because Sattler has modified his mailbox. Sattler says he hasn't done any modifications to the mailbox. We were unable to clarify that matter today. Live at the live desk, Henry Erbs, 24-hour News 8.